I have a few friends that come perform here occasionally. I know Dwight Tribble, and I find that since he's taken the reins of the artistic reins of the stage, that the entertainment, the jazz expression are deep, and they swing too. I once heard a definition that jazz is the profound expression of human emotion, and that resonated with me. I like to say that jazz is the anthem to my life because I've been listening to it since I was a kid. I was influenced by my dad. And so coming around here in Leimert Park, I met Billy Higgins, and I met a few other performers and entertainers and musicians, and it just piques my interest because it touches me. That's what it does. It touches me, and the music is what's going on in my head. I can walk to the rhythm, I can walk to the beat, I can walk to the vamps, everything. And that's one reason why I like to keep coming back to the stage. Good entertainment. You can't lose.
I've had some wonderful experience at the Worldstage, especially with Renee Fisher in drumming. She's an awesome teacher. Worldstage is a very friendly place to come to. You feel very welcome when you come to the Worldstage. It's one of the greatest community places that you can go to in Leimert Park. And I'm very honored that I have the pleasure to come to Worldstage.
Man, there's so many different experiences at the Worldstage, but I remember situations where interesting things to show the beauty of music, where we had guys that were during the early 90s when there was a lot of active gang banging and very intense strife in the community before the riots. And there was some kids that would come to look in the window. They were so attracted to the music, the beautiful jazz music that was played at the Worldstage. And they would come to the window, these Crips, these gangbangers, and they would hang around the window. And I saw them and I said, hey man, go sit down, you know. They were like, I don't have any money. It's like, you don't have to pay. You can be a guest of mine. And eventually one of them ended up becoming an incredible jazz drummer. And he stopped gangbanging and he devoted himself to the music. He moved out of state, moved to Louisiana, and he opened up a place that was modeled after the Worldstage to help other youth, troubled youth. That's one of the experiences. I had experiences in the same period of time, walking through the streets, and there was a guy who was driving a Trans Am, Pontiac Trans Am, and he was driving through the area, and he was shooting at gang members and taggers and everything, and he shot, and the bullet grazed my head, went through the wall of the Worldstage and ended up going through Ramesses, the artist wall, and Ramesses came back and gave me the bullet, to say, you might want to keep this as a souvenir because, you know, you made it through this. My whole point for this is that these are the beginning times of when this place was an installation of peace, and that peace took over, and eventually the Worldstage and all of the arts entities there were respected by the gangbangers, and they would come and enjoy the music, come and enjoy the poetry, but they wouldn't cause any violence. They became where they grew through the peace and the collective creative harmony of a few small entities, and it changed the whole neighborhood. There was no more gangbanging in the area. They came, but they enjoyed themselves. There was no more strife. So I'm saying that to say that that was part of recognizing how the beauty of music and the beauty of the black community needs to have places like this, as many as possible, because these things transition people from anger into things of peace and harmony. Other experiences that we had at the World Stage was people that had played in seminal groups like John Coltrane Quartet. I had the privilege of being able to bring Elvin Jones to play for the community at a no cost. I had the privilege of being able to bring artists like Joe Henderson to the World Stage at no cost. The privilege of bringing the great Max Roach, who played with Charlie Parker, to the World Stage at no cost. So many different personalities that were so magnetic and so sympathetic to the real need of the music and purpose of the music for humanity in general, that they understood that where people couldn't afford with financial means, they came and gave with the means of their heart to match the means of the hearts and needs of the people in the community. That's one of the biggest and most important things that I learned in my experience with the World Stage, is the capacity for compassion and a gentleness of collective effort. That's what I saw in the World Stage, and that's what brings the World Stage to be one of the places that's most enduring to my heart, and where the love between people and of all nations, of all people, came from. I remember people came from Germany with a friend, a bassist, Nedra Willers. She was a student, I think, at Cal Arts at the time, and she brought a whole faction of people from Germany, and it was a jam session night, and we had some great musicians there, and they just fit in. They were like family instantly, because the common denominator between people is their love and their need to share this beautiful music. Also, experiences at the World Stage, I got to teach children. Come here, Aisha. Come here. Come here. Now, she's a great young drummer. I got to teach a drum class for like 30 years or something at the World Stage. And, so many great children became great adult musicians at that time. There were kids coming in, and I would teach the kids as long as they could sit up. If there were 2 and they could sit up, they would be there. If they were 1.5, they could sit up, they would be there. I had a little drum set, right? Yeah. So I could teach the little kids, and so much amazing things came out of the community with them having access to something that was brought there for them. And, where are you playing at, Aisha?
Everywhere.
She's playing everywhere, okay.
So I did the Tiny Desk and a lot of great things because of this guy and Billy Higgins.
Yeah. And so, we had some students came through, and they've been to Juilliard, they've been to all these different schools all over the world, coming from that little drum class from the World Stage. And I don't know, it was hundreds of kids came through there. Kids that had things to do with Kendrick Lamar's record, kids that have things to do with Drake's stuff that's part of the production and doing stuff for it. So, where it seems like, things are kind of simplistic at the beginning, you see that these things grow from seeds that end up propagating things that touch people all over the world and touch people through many generations. And, those things are things that I remember about the World Stage, but they keep evolving and keep answering the question, do you need music in communities? Yes, you need music in communities. Do individuals need to participate in learning how to play instruments and write poetry and do things of a creative nature? Yes, they do. Why? Why do they need that? Because the part of them that other endeavors ask for maybe does not touch that part that may be a secret, intimate, loving place that they need to have, so they can see that reflection of themselves and others can see it, and they can enjoy joining and sharing these things to participate in these matters in an open place like the world stage.
You know, for me, if I had to think about one thing, it's the way the community in the world stage honors members of the community, honors musicians, members who've passed on. And for me, the first time I sat here and experienced the love in this peace and harmony in this space got me hooked. And I was fortunate, Dwight asked me to be the house photographer when COVID started, so I've been here every Friday night documenting the musicians and folks who come in here and help support the music, which we can't live without.
Name some of the people you took pictures of.
Photographed everyone from Pharoah Sanders to Billy Higgins and Kamau Daaood, the two founders of the original world stage. Miles Davis, Herbie Hancock, Azar Lawrence, who played here before the space was even created. Grew up in the Leimert Park area. Great friend and supporter of the world stage. And again, as people who take classes here, take musicians' workshops, go on to great success, and always come back and support the place where they started. Which again, that continuity of community is really what makes this so special.
Hi, I'm Hallie Haliman Anderson. This is my daughter Noelle, my daughter Gabrielle, my granddaughter Briar. And I have to just say my history with the world stage goes back a ways. I was invited down here by Don Muhammad because you guys were having Ron Carter. It was when the stage was across the street. And when I pulled up onto the block, there was a line around the corner. So, yeah, Ron Carter was here, and like I said, there was a line around the corner. So I knew I had landed somewhere important. And so that started, our, 30-some-odd year journey with the world stage. I'm really excited that you guys are doing this honoring today. Don Muhammad is my former amour. This is our daughter and our granddaughter. So in addition to Don and the love I have for him in the world stage, all the men that are being honored here today, Cornel Fauler, I believe, Kamau Daaood, are all, their history, his legacy here. My daughter is a world stage baby. She was raised here on this block in the world stage with her dad. So again, I'm really excited that you guys decided to do this. And the world stage, I've seen so many people here, everybody from Billy Higgins, obviously, Billy was like a brother to Don. And so, a confidant and a good friend, a very dear friend. And everybody, Billy Childs, I can't even think of the people. It's just everybody. That's great. And the thing is that the world stage has an imprint around the world, right? And so it's nice to know that we're part of that legacy. So, yes.
My name is Matt Gibson. I've been associated with the world stage in one functionary position or another since 2002, when Kamau Daaood, one of the founders of the world stage, asked me to come aboard. He was taking a break from the world stage. This is 2002, about a year after Billy Higgins had passed away. I'm still associated with the world stage these 20-some-odd years later. I, at one point, was the day-to-day functioning manager of the world stage for about probably 15 years or so. And just love the world stage. It is the greatest institution in Los Angeles in terms of a community founded, a community supported, a community sustained organization. It's one of the most worthy nonprofits you might ever encounter. We teach children the fundamentals of jazz. Very difficult to learn the fundamentals of jazz unless you go to a college somewhere that has a jazz band. But at the world stage, we make provisions for anyone coming in to improve their musical capabilities. It's a rare thing. The world stage charges $5 and $10 only for its services, which It's the original amount it charged in 1989. It still costs the same to get in the world stage. Our weekend performances, we charge a bit more to pay the bands, but in general, the world stage is just as it was when Billy Higgins left us. All our programs are still functioning. We still have singers workshops on Sunday night. We have a writers workshop on Wednesday, the famous Anansi Writers Workshop. We have a women's drum organization, the Anansi. We have the Anansi Writers Workshop and Shine Muwasi. The world stage is a wonderful place. I'm proud and always have been so happy to be associated with the world stage. It's a noble organization founded by a great musician and a great writer, the great Kamau Daaood. His book is entitled The Language of Saxophones. Get it if you can. It's one of the great books of poetry available anywhere. I'm so proud to be here tonight honoring the founders, the great Don Muhammad, who was here with Billy. Billy's aide de camp went with him and served him. His drum tech took good care of him. Renee Fisher, who has been with the stage from its inception, the great Kamau Daaood, and the great Cornel Fauler, who taught the children's drum program from its inception the day it opened in 1989. He and Billy Higgins nurtured countless young drummers and brought them who are now working as professionals, including people like Willie Jones Jr., Karan Harrison, too numerous to name. Once again, my name is Matt Gibson. I'm so happy to be here with you all this evening. Happy to honor these great men and women who have sustained the world stage through the years.
Renee, hey Renee Fisher. Renee, where you at, Renee? And Pat, where's Pat? All right, where's Pat? And Renee Fisher. Renee, well, at least Pat, somebody. Oh, here come Renee. All right. I'll turn the music off so we can hear your words. Say a little prayer.
Is this going to be outside?
No.
Oh.
Told me y'all gonna be around 6 o'clock. 6:30.
Now we all need help. Everyone. Everybody inhale and exhale. 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. I want to use my inside voice. May I use my inside voice?
Yes.
I'm going to use my outside voice. Peace and blessings to everyone here. If you don't mind, just bear with me for a second. And I want to thank everyone for being here. And I want to thank the vision of Billy Higgins and Kamau Daaood standing right here in front of me. I'm so grateful for you. Today is a day of gratitude. I can still see Mr. Higgins rolling down the street saying, what kind of skullduggery is you up to today? We love them. We love all our ancestors, and that's what we do. We continue to raise up our ancestors. Had it not been for them, we're standing on their shoulders, and we salute them every time we get a chance. Here in this beautiful Africa town, Leimert Park, the village, what do you call it? Home, right? Y'all came home today. Give yourselves a hand. We came home with family here today. Ashe. All right, y'all. In the silence, we're going to lift it up right now, the spirit. And we're going to ask the ancestors, the oldest person that's gathered here, could you please give me permission to continue on? Nobody want to be the oldest. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, I'll go. Renee, you giving yourself permission? Most gracious creator of all things.
Speak up a little louder.
Most gracious creator of all things. We give thanks for this day. We pay homage to the ancestors And to those that are living and breathing with the blood running warm through their bodies right now, we give thanks for them and the energy that they committed to this. We are honoring our loved ones today, and there's so many people that could be thought of right now. So I just hope in our consciousness we're thinking of all those people that are not with us and can't come today, and we just want to just send some energy towards them. We're grateful for every piece of food we put in our mouths today. We're thankful that the doors of the world stage, I call it church, are still open. Right there, the doors are still open. Can I get an amen? Amen. The doors are still open. Amen. And for that, we give praise and thanks, because we will know that it's not by our power, but by the power of the Most High, and that you continue to keep us, our hands clean, our hearts pure, and focused on the mission to create the greatness of our people and all these art forms that we create, to represent all these ancestors that we are standing on their shoulders right now. We want them to know that we appreciate it. We will not make a fool or a mockery of anything that they laid forth for us, that we care about this village. This is our village. Whose village? Our village. That's right. So, most gracious Creator, we give you thanks and praise. And I'm going to say Ashe, 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 oh. Children, that was a libation and a prayer. Hallelujah! Thank you. So we're going to go to the next part of this beautiful celebration. I'm so excited. Who's got the mic now? Because I started singing. I think Pat has the mic. Everybody got a cup? I did not. I just hang my. So I'm supposed to dance away, right?
All I can say is Ashe. Ashe. My name is Pat Prescott. I'm excited to be here tonight. I'm the host of this event for this evening, and very excited about it. I'm a member of this community, and so excited about the legacy of the world stage. And just before we're going to do a toast to the founders, to all the great worker bees who have kept this thing going over these years. So important that people be acknowledged. Yes. And that's what we're going to do tonight. It's very important that we say thank you to each other for the things that we do. And that we, in a public place, speak of the efforts and the achievements of those who are amongst us. And we must never forget to do that. So important that we invoke the ancestors, as we just did. All of that is just the right thing to do. And we're in some interesting times right now. Times that an institution like this is more important than ever before. Yes. You know, and as I've been moving through the crowd and talking to people tonight, I realized something. You know, my husband always says, when you have a gathering like this with the kind of people that are here tonight, we should close the doors and start a business. Do something with all the power that we have, which I hope that we never forget that we have. But we're going to give a toast right now. It's been 35 years now that the world stage has been an institution here in the Lambert neighborhood, Lambert Village. When I first moved here 22 years ago from New York, I was looking for Harlem. I asked Karani, I was like, well, where do we go? And it kind of always felt like this should be the place. And we're looking at a time when people are becoming really aware of this neighborhood. And it's more important than ever for us to embrace it and to hold on and to keep our presence and to keep our spirit involved here. The stage is an anchor in this neighborhood. It has inspired the growth of many other institutions that are happening right here. And during those years, the world stage has fostered exchange and interaction between artists of all ages, levels, and genres, providing a safe space for self-discovery, experimentation, and critical feedback in a nourishing environment of peace, light, and love. It is all present here tonight. We are going to lift up some of the people who have kept the dream alive, and we're going to start with a toast. And we want to be in keeping with the early traditions of this great space, and we keep all the alcohol outside. Ashe. So with that, Let us lift a toast to all of those who had the dreams, who believed that this could be, and to all of those who have worked to make it so. We salute you tonight.
I've been here since 1992. I've grown leaps and bounds. I walked in bald, and now I have locks that drag the ground. I coordinate the Writers' Workshop, the Anansi Writers' Workshop, and this has made my stay in Leimert Park a joy and a blessing. I've been in Leimert Park since 1966 and gone through meditation and art, dance, and I settled on poetry. I settled with the word and built and found my family here.
Has it been difficult? Because you said you've been writing workshops, right?
Yes.
Give me an estimation on how many people you've trained in writers' class. Yeah.
In 32 years?
Right.
Jeez, I've never been asked that question before. Wow. I have no clue. I just know that I've learned from the best, and the best are coming.
That is so.
Because the young people here, as the young people were when I first got here, they are evolving. They are in touch with some things that we didn't even know existed at that age. And so it's their time. It's their time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fundi Lejean, French horn Fundi, Pan-African People's Orchestra, since '79 and beyond. The world stage is home, man. Billy had, man, so much love, blessings. Thank you for giving us this, man. I was here at the beginning, the Horace, the art, life, sprawling from this place here. Across the street to here, another move is coming soon. But give thanks on this celebration. That's much needed celebration, the world stage. Around the world stage is known. Peace and blessing. Kamau Daaood, Nene, much love. Continue to grow. Ain't no stopping us, man. Much love. Amen.
Right now.
Oh, you the bouncer? Get him.
Remember, no alcohol inside the auditorium? Oh, no, you're good. Water is good.
That's the first thing I met right here. This man took the, I still have the Polaroid. Oh, okay. It's like the first 4 months. And he was talking crazy to me then, and he's
One step at a time.
Exactly. He should be doing my job.
Don Muhammad's in the shot.
Hey, kids, Dr. Hart.
I met Don Muhammad. I wasn't even 30 yet. 1990. He was here. He was like at the desk, and he took Polaroid of me with Mark Shelby and all, and Cornel Fauler, which I still have. But I mean, I have a copy of the Polaroid. But I mean, that's 34 years ago.
It was about, that's why we don't have alcohol or anybody smoking weed or doing anything up in here. because we want our children to come and see what we're doing up in here. You know, this is something that they supposed to come and see. Bring them, because it ain't nothing we doing up in here that we ashamed of. Nothing. All right, so with that, we getting closer to the music. I know y'all want to hear this music, don't you? Because it's gonna blow your mind, really. You know, and that's what the World Stage has been doing forever. We've been blowing the mind. We've been bringing the very, very, very best that we have in Los Angeles, right here in our place. And the thing that we need to understand and need to know that the ice is not cooler on the other side of town. The ice is not cooler on the other side of town when you got the very, very best. Right here, all you got to do is come down the hill, go around the corner. We right here, and we will continue to be here for you. God bless you.
Please give it up to your MC, Pat Prescott.
Thank you, and let's have a round of applause for all these gentlemen. We're going to be hearing some more about these four in just a little bit, but I just want to say one thing about Dwight. That was very good. I enjoyed it. He doesn't always like the spotlight. You know, he's not that guy. He is somebody who wants to come in and do the work and get it done. For him, it's all about the music. And we want to thank you for the music that you have given us over the years. And thank you so much for supporting all of the music and everything that happens here at the World Stage. We might get mad at me later for doing that, because he doesn't like to hear all that. All right, so what we're going to do right now is bring up someone who I just met tonight, but her reputation preceded her. She is an amazing individual who has been doing a lot to put Leimert Park in the spotlight. Diane Robertson is a vice president in the law department of CBS Television Network, which is now Paramount TV. Diane moved to Leimert in 2014 and helped to resurrect the block clubs. And then in the summer of 2015, she launched the inaugural Sutro Avenue Summer Soiree, which was rebranded as the Leimert Park Jazz Festival, which many of you know about, and which is growing every year. We're so excited about that. And we want to make sure that everyone who is here tonight knows that, you know, this is an evening of action. And my motto is don't ask, don't get. And we are asking that all of you who are here with your time out of your lives to be here tonight will support this festival. We'll support all the programs that are happening at the World Stage. And when I say support, I also mean with dollars, because that's really what's most needed. And a lot of times we will show up, but we don't show out like we should, and which many of us can. And you'd be surprised that the smaller donations mean a lot as well. And they are tax deductible, so I want you to keep that in your heart. But Diane didn't wait for tax deductible donations, she just went with it. The festival is now held yearly at Baldwin Hills Mall and produced in conjunction with our good friends here at the World Stage. So help me welcome right now Diane Robertson.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. I am so thrilled to see this house packed as it should be. Let's give another round of applause for Dwight Tribble and his work at the World Stage. It is really, in large part, due to his commitment to this performance gallery that the doors are still open, and we continue to need the support of community. So tell a friend, tell them to tell a friend to come out to their ticketed concerts every weekend. There are amazing, amazing jazz artists who perform here every weekend. So we want to see the World Stage packed like this every Friday and Saturday night. I executive produce the Leimert Park Jazz Festival, which is a truly homegrown festival, having evolved organically out of the block party that Pat mentioned. I started the block party in 2015, a year after moving to Leimert Park, with the sole purpose of bringing neighbors together. I call myself an accidental jazz festival producer. This was never in the plan. And in 2018, I decided I wanted to incorporate a small jazz stage to the block party. And I contacted Dwight and asked him to co-curate the stage with me. He agreed, we did it. It really resonated with guests. So we did it again in 2019, and it was after that block party that I decided to rebrand and focus on jazz. Dwight and I had dinner one evening. I shared with him the idea. He loved it. He said, go for it, and I did. So I started planning a lot of things around the launch of the rebranded event. But unfortunately, COVID had other plans for me in 2020. And like everyone else, I pivoted and produced an inaugural virtual festival. So I was thrilled that in 2021, we were able to present it in person for the first time. And it's been growing steadily every year. Last year, we had a little over 3,000 guests. This year, we're aiming for a little over 4,000, and it's on the last Saturday of August. This year, that's August 31st. I hope all of you who are in town will come and join us. We announced the artist lineup last week. We have guitarist Stanley Jordan and his trio performing. We have pianist and multi-Grammy winning artist Billy Childs and his trio performing. We have Custo Amario's Afro-Colombian ensemble performing. We have Gilbert Castellanos Quintet performing. And we are also uplifting emerging local jazz musicians. We have Chris Poe Quartet, Chris is an amazing sax player. He graduated last year from the Berklee College of Music. And we also have the Fernando Pullum Community Arts Center Youth Jazz Band performing. And they're performing with two special guests, trumpet player Nolan Shahid and trombone player George Bohannon. So please join us. Please follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Leimert Park Jazz Festival. And go to our website, www.leimertparkjazzfestival.org. You can sign up for our newsletter there. And the last thing I'll say is I'm thrilled that in the fall, in November, we received our 501c3 tax exempt status from the IRS. So your donations are tax deductible. So thank you so much in advance for your support.
This is my church, and I am a witness. I'm a witness. Allahu Akbar. Hallelujah. All of it. All of it. I'm talking too loud. So what had happened was, I met Billy in 1982 at the Watts Towers. Was selling some vegan sandwiches. He asked me about one. I said, if you don't like it, I'll give you your money back. Well, he never came back. And when I took a break, I went around because my booth was way, or my table was way away from the stage. I went around and I saw the stage, and I saw this big sign that said Billy Higgins. I said, I have albums with Billy Higgins, but I don't know, I don't remember what it looks like. And I saw him sitting behind a kid. I was like, that's Billy Higgins. Oh, man. I met Kamau in the 70s. He doesn't remember because I was really shorter than this and couldn't see, you know. I met Cornel when I got here. I met Dal Muhammad when I got here. And I was bald. It was 1992. I was bald. Clean, bald. And, but I've been in Leimert since 66 with Mavericks Flat, and then 67 with Broadway Galleries, 69 with the Transcendental Meditation Center, and the world stage. The world stage. So it saved my, well, I don't eat bacon, I'm vegan. It saved my cha-cha.
Oh, that's right.
It saved my cha-cha. And and Kamau saved my cha-cha. He wouldn't let me sit down and hide in the corners. And he said, "What's the matter with you?" And I was like, whoa, hold on. He got me straight. So we didn't need to have more than one conversation. So, there's two things that have happened here. There have been young people who have come and gone and come and gone and come and grown. Mm-hmm.
Just two.
Yeah, well, yeah, just two. And so I'd like to speak about the young people who are coming through, who are taking over the mantle from the Non-City Writers Workshop. The Jessica Gallion and Nadia Hunter Bay. I know you're there, why aren't you standing up? We'll be accepting the mantle of the Nazi Writers Workshop as I sit myself down somewhere. I'm raising children. I'm not the farmer's daughter raising chickens to be slaughtered. Not the sharecropper's child raising cane to be cut down. I'm raising children here. Raising, not California singing dried fruit raisinets. Not raising strange fruit to hang from some oppressive tree. I'm raising precious fruits to grow high on the vine. Precious fruits reaching toward the sunshine. Raising the fruits of my womb to multiply by fives to stay alive. I'm raising children here. No little Bo Peep leading her sheep to be slaughtered. These are my daughters. These are my sons. I'm raising children, y'all. Raising them up above the floodwaters. I am the crossing guard. Cross me and you'll be sorry, because I'm raising children here. Between rock and hard space, betwixt slim and nuns, between fat back and no slack, I'm raising children, Lord. The instructions are included, don't fold, spindle, or mutilate. The instructions are included, don't fold, spindle, or mutilate. The instructions being included, do not fold, spindle, mutilate, neglect, misuse, or abuse. Just follow the instructions like you do Ogun, Oshun, and the moon. Just follow the instructions, because I'm raising children here. I'm raising children, y'all. I'm raising children here. This is the house of light and sound. Light and sound. Light and sound. I am a fan. I am a fanatic for the world stage. And I will close with this because the love is here. It's in the floor. It's in our cat, Sage, who owns us all, wherever she is. The queen, she's the queen, you know. It's in the walls, and can't nobody mess with us. Because if you mess with a poet, you might not know who you are in the next 15 minutes because we will have redefined your situation.
They're not like us.
But to raise the vibration, I just want to say that this, how dare you love me like you mean it? Come on! Honor in your intention, you bring laughter to my heart, and my cup runneth over and over again. Because of you, I live in a place where the scent of star lilies and white roses. We negotiate air. Handle me like, baby, I'm for real. Okay, I know I asked Spirit for this. Just didn't know it would be here so soon. A bucket full of brothers got me flashing like railroad crossing. How dare you love me like God sent you? Just 'cause he did. Told you things about me I ain't admitted to myself. Told you so you could help me heal. This is what love looked like on the inside. Of a spirit that says you're mine all the time. Of a God that love you like always ain't never been defined, just is, don't you know I ain't used to this? But when you open your heart, your eyes will follow and lead you to me every time. How dare you love me like I deserve it? Watch me let you. Be the people through the land, light and sound, the world stage. Thank you. Strings, hands wouldn't need tweezers, no plucking would be allowed. If I could sing, I wouldn't need no Grammy, and American music would keep their awards. If I could sing, I would hold you like the whole note Masson Roman Kirk wouldn't let go of. If I could sing, I would sing our people awake, our children into safety, our men into honor, ourselves into our rightful place among the women who've created worlds with just the mention of their names. If I could sing, I would sound like Dwight Triple. And the world would say,
Shay. I think most of us would like to sing like White Joe. You know, in every organization, there are those people who love it so very much that they do whatever needs to be done to get it done. And this next person is that woman here at the World Stage. She hosts the Rose Gales Vocal Workshop. She MCs the Friday night concerts as well. She is the founder and director of Shine Muwasi. Sisters healing, inspiring, nurturing, and empowering in the hands of God. Shine. Muwasi is an incredibly authentic West African women's drum group which spreads healing and inspiration throughout the LA area. And these sisters bring the fire, and she is affectionately known to all of us as Mama Nene. So help us to welcome a woman who's usually doing what I'm doing up here tonight. We gave her a break tonight for a change. Please welcome Renee Fisher-Mims.
Y'all making me cry. Y'all know I'm a big cry baby. Oh. It's not hard to do for the World Stage because so many positive people come through the door all the time, and even not so positive, it's just looking for a positive vibration, you know? And to say the least, it's a service. It's not work, it's just something that comes out. And I appreciate everyone that comes and all your donations. We really wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. 35 years, y'all. I don't want to talk about the past, but you remember when we had to roll our bed up and move down here? Some of y'all was with us, right? Yeah. And you're still here, and we appreciate that. And I just want to big up the board of directors that have taken a stronghold and made sure that things run properly. And I want to dap on my big brother. I'm older than him. But I like to call him my big brother because he bosses me around a little bit. But I talk back, right?
She's the boss.
Don't rattle my cage because I'll rise up. And I just want to say, Dwight, thank you so much for being such a fearless leader, making sure that all things run well. Nothing is perfect but the Most High. And Dwight is a really good representation of that. Righteousness, sensitivity, personal. He can be a tyrant sometimes. So. Yeah, so right, it's a good thing sometimes. Sometimes rejection is protection, right? And so he doesn't go for everything. And I appreciate that he takes his time. And the board's been so considerate and just being here. Shamawasi in the house. It's an open drum workshop, circle, alliance for all ages. And brothers come through too. It's not just restricted to women. The men come too if they want to sit on my lap. It's okay. Sometimes a grown man needs to sit on a woman's lap. I'm gonna tell you why. Grown man. It's something about sitting on a woman's lap and hugging her. Yeah, it goes really deep. And if you can find yourself in a woman's lap to hug her, you'll realize what I'm saying. It's like sitting in the lap of a mother. It's comforting and soothing. And that's all I want to do is be here like a mom. I just told somebody I got 2 titties. I can feed 2 babies at one time.
That's right.
Y'all wasn't ready for that, right? I don't have no time to cut shapes. I keep it real. I don't sugarcoat anything. When I say that, that's the nurturing. I might not physically pull my breast out, but that bathroom's going to be clean for you sisters when y'all come here. Brothers, if we miss the toilet, I'm going to be there to clean it up behind you.
Oh, shit.
Keep it real. These are the things that have to happen in this place and make it happen. So I don't want you to think that this is the Disneyland operation. We cry. We bleed, we sacrifice, spend our own money, stay up late, get up early. But it's because of the love that you all constantly bring in and out that door. Every time you tune into the live stream, that will be disconnected this month. Did y'all get that memo? The live stream is being cut off in June. All we ask in July, all we ask that you check it out, tune in. Come through the doors and sit. Sometimes it is a little empty in here. We do need your presence. Because if you don't come, it won't be none.
The experience is different when you're here.
The experience of the Bree said it, the experience is different when you're here. So y'all come on home. It's so nice to see all of you, I'm telling you. So I'm gonna put my bra on. Can you say Worldstage? Can you say Worldstage? Say Worlds, yeah! Say Billy Higgins! Prescott! Y'all tired? We can do roll call up in here. All right, y'all, I'm gonna go have my seat.
We're getting really closer to the music now, okay? And we really want to apologize to the people who are standing, because I'm 70, and so after a while you don't like to stand anymore. You want to know, where's my chair? Where am I sitting? But if we had known so many people were going to show up, we might have, are there some more chairs outside? If they are, why don't y'all get them and bring them inside of here? If they are. But thank you, and keep coming like this, and we're gonna make sure there's enough chairs in here every time. Thank you very much. We're very excited to see all of you tonight. You know, it takes a lot of hard work and dedication from a number of people to keep a community institution such as the World Stage alive for 35 years. And I want to talk for a second about two of the earliest folks in that long line, because they were part of the founding staff, and both of them were really instrumental in getting the World Stage off the ground. First, I want to talk a little bit about Cornel Fauler. Cornel was here at the World Stage when the doors opened, working alongside Billy Higgins. And he was probably the first person to get an extra key to the stage. Like Billy, he's a lifelong drummer. He's worked with Reggie Workman, Larry Graham, Jimmy Witherspoon, Patrice Rushen, the Billy Higgins Drum Ensemble, and many more. And for 20 years, he did music clinics and workshops at the World Stage and continued to teach on the Monday night World Stage Trap Drum Workshop that was started by Billy Higgins. We want to thank you so much, Cornel, for everything that you have done to keep this thing going. God bless you.
Close to 30 years.
30 years, not 20, not bad. Thank you so much. Next is Don Muhammad. Don was born in Chicago, moved to LA in the 1980s, and was a very special friend of Billy Higgins. He was at the stage continually as Billy's right-hand man. He would set up the drums, he would travel with Billy, and do whatever needed to be done to keep his show going. When Billy was diagnosed with liver disease, he continued to travel and play. Don Muhammad, right there at his side, as he's always been there for us. We thank him. I want to talk a little bit about the two founders now. Kamau Daaood is a devoted poet, a performance artist, author, educator, and community activist. And he's become sort of a mythic figure here in the Southern California art scene. He has spent 50 years performing, recording, curating, teaching, and producing, sharing his art in schools, churches, prisons, storefronts, art venues, libraries, festivals, pretty much wherever they'll let him come. Conferences, radio, television, museums, and galleries nationally and internationally. From his early days as a young member of the Watts Writers Workshop and the Pan-African People's Orchestra, under the direction of pianist Horace Tapscott in the late 1960s. In Kamau's own words, he says, having witnessed the power of the arts as a vehicle for self-discovery, revelation, inspiration, and healing, the right words offered in the right way can be music holding us together. His story is the subject of an award-winning documentary called Life is a Saxophone, produced by Pearl S. Sharp, and his critically acclaimed CD, Leimert Park, a combination of straight-ahead jazz, world music, and blues and hip-hop, bears witness to the spirit of redemption, dignity, and salvation that lives right here in Leimert Park. Kamau was also featured on the 2022 CD release of The Gathering, Healing Suite, Roots and Branches of Los Angeles, a reunion of South LA jazz folk who had assembled in 2015 to celebrate the 4-decade Horace Tapscott legacy. He has shared his work on many stages in this region, from the World Stage to the Hollywood Bowl. Yet one of his greatest achievements, for which we're honoring him tonight, is the co-founding of the World Stage in 1989, along with Billy Higgins. Under their leadership, this storefront performance gallery has become LA's Black creative epicenter, and it is legendary. Thank you. And finally, we want to talk about the other founder, the late, great Billy Higgins. The most recorded drummer in Blue Note history, with a career that spanned 5 decades, playing and recording with the biggest names in jazz, everybody that you've heard of. John Coltrane, Dexter Gordon, Sonny Rollins, Thelonious Monk, Herbie Hancock, Milt Jackson, Charles Lloyd, Lee Morgan, and many more. He was born and raised in LA, started playing the drums when he was only 5 years old, possibly because his mom also played the drums before him. But he says that when he heard the drums played on 51st and Avalon on the east side of LA, he knew he wanted to be a drummer. He first came to prominence as a jazz figure, as a member of Ornette Coleman's free jazz group in 1950 and was part of a collective that pushed the envelope for decades. In 1959, the opening night of the Coleman Quartet at the Five Spot Cafe in New York City was one of the legendary jazz events of all time, and he was there. Billy Higgins played on over 700 recordings, including Dexter Gordon's Go, Herbie Hancock's Taken Off, and Lee Morgan's The Sidewinder. He was a frequent musical collaborator with Cedar Walton and also with his dear friend Charles Lloyd. But no matter what genre he played, whether it was free jazz or classic straight ahead, his driving rhythms constantly brought the music to life. This quality, along with his enthusiastic presence as well as his constant smile, made him one of the most in-demand drummers in music history. He was known to musicians and fans as Smiling Billy, and he was quoted in the LA Times as saying, "I don't realize I'm smiling, but I'm just feeling rich and having so much fun. I feel blessed to play music, and it's also an honor to play music, because you got a lot of people's feelings in your hands." But out of all his accolades, just like Kamau, one of his proudest accomplishments was opening the Worldstage as a place where writers and musicians could hone their craft. He used his notoriety to give back to the community and to bring in other highly regarded, talented creatives to teach workshops and to perform. And we will all continue to live his dream. And so tonight we honor the legacy of world-renowned drummer and NEA jazz master, Billy Higgins. And I believe we have some awards to do. I hope y'all have a lot of space in your car. The Worldstage salutes Billy Higgins with gratitude for your vision, values, and commitment. Happy Founders Day, June 2024, 35 years. And I think it's every drummer's dream to just be Billy Higgins just for a couple of minutes, you know what I mean? And this one, it says the same thing, and it goes to Kamau Daaood. And this one is for Cornel Fauler. And finally for Don Malone. Let's hear it one more time for our honorees this evening. We cannot thank you enough. And what would a night be like at the Worldstage without music? That's what we really want. Okay. Oh, that's super. We should let our honorees speak. Yes.
Before we say something, I think the check fell off of mine.
Oh, Don says the check fell off of his. How does it feel being Billy Higgins more night? So you can pass the mic.
This is, I mean, there are no words. I had tears. I mean, I remember seeing him at Royce Hall with Charles Lloyd. And it was so cool because what he did is he played like maybe 2 or 3 tunes, and then he announced that he was going to bring up one of his students. And so this young man came up, and it was just such a beautiful other side that we all know that Billy had, that kindness. So, yeah, man. So I'm blown away. I'm just blown away. Assalamu alaikum, that is peace be unto all of you. I just want to thank everybody that's involved in putting this together. And I know that if it was just for me, probably wouldn't nobody be here but my family. But, you know, I want to ask, how many of you actually feel like you were very, very close friends to the founder that's absent from here tonight? Good, good. How many of you actually know his name? Many of you. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Sometimes it's like asking about our brother Malik Shabazz, and half the audience don't know who you're talking about. They say, somebody says, "Oh, is he talking about Malcolm X?" No, I'm not talking about Malcolm the Unknown. I'm talking about the guy we know, Malik Shabazz. This brother's name was, how many of you said you know? Know your brother who? Some of your hands went up. Give me some name. What was the brother's name? Brother with the hand going up. What was the brother's name? His name was Abdullah Kareem. None of you knew that. As long as you've been in this community, you didn't know that his name was Abdullah Kareem. Please, please don't forget. The brother's name was Abdullah Kareem. And he was encouraged to take on that name by another Muslim brother who was named Max Kareem, or you call, and that brother encouraged another brother who was named Omar Kareem. We're talking about Max Roach and Jackie McLean. And, you know, Dwight mentioned that this place was like a church in the beginning, and he felt that that was the reason why it's lasted as long as it had. Well, it wasn't like a church. It was more like a mosque. We used to pray here all the time. You know, we get down on our knees and pray to our Creator, the Creator now, not these false gods that most of us believe in, that most of us associate with the Creator. Please, if I can plead with you, please, after tonight, please don't do that anymore. That's the biggest crime in the universe, is to associate partners with the Creator, for he is none of those things. He's the creator of all those things. So that's the kind of music that was played in this place. And we got that music from the greatest book that ever was printed. And most of you probably never picked it up or read it. It's called the Holy Quran. If you don't know anything about it, go and get it. It's the greatest book that has ever been printed. It's called the Holy Quran. Please go and get one for yourself and read it. It's the most beautiful music to your ears. We'd go there first, and then we would pick up the instruments and start to play. Higgins used to tell his audience that before he hit one note on his drums, he'd go in here and ask the Creator for it, because he understood that it didn't belong to him. It belongs to the Creator, like everything else does. And the only way to get it, and sometimes he would say to his audience, he said, you know that old Broadway musical called Your Arms Are Too Short to Box with God? He said, so now that you know you can't take it from him, what's the alternative? You have to ask him for it. If you ask for it, he'll give it to you. But if you don't ask, you may never receive it. So he'd always go in here first, and then he'd go to the drums. So keep that in mind. Keep in mind the brother's name is Abdullah Kareem. Thank you.
Higgins, selfless man, selfless. A term came to me years ago that Higgins was an example and a proponent of a selfless sharing of gifts. He would, they had a situation where there was an Art Blakey, which was one of his elders, had a band after Art had died, and they asked Higgins to play with the band. And I asked Billy, I said, are you gonna play with them? And he said, well, I'll be stuck in one situation, and the things that I have to share with many different people, it won't be spread around. And I recognized that Billy was teaching that what Don said, that nothing belongs to any individual. I remember it was a situation where my car broke down, and Billy only had one car for him and his wife and his little son. And Billy turns around and said, man, it's really important. Take my car. I said, Billy, you don't have a car, man. Your wife doesn't have a car. He said, but there's some things that you're doing for quite a few more people than what we're doing right now. Take the car. And he was about that all of the time with everyone. He saw something that I'm grateful that I was blessed to be around someone who saw that part of God in life, where he saw that every person has something that can be recognized, honored, and that can be built and developed. Every single person. And that's something that this type of society, where you're, like right now, everybody's concerned with inflation, trying to keep up with the money situation, trying to keep up with the costs and everything. So everything's kind of external, but people don't really realize what one of the things that a man like Higgins really realized, that what's inside of you and inside, what's up, baby? What's inside of you and inside of every person is valuable to everyone else. And don't get hypnotized or stigmatized by what seems like to be the common oppression or pressure to be something other than sharing and loving and compassion. Because sharing and loving and compassion can make all those other challenges go away. And that's what Higgins really knew, really deeply. And I appreciate that about Higgins, and it's a lesson that I'm so grateful to have learned and seen somebody practice it and not just say it, you know.
You know, this night is really not about us here, sitting up here on the stage. It's not about us. We're in the right place at the right time. Be conduits to be used by something much greater than us, for the good of us, the good of all of us, you know. One of my teachers, John Outerbridge, he taught me that being an artist is like being wounded with a blessing. And y'all don't really know what I'm talking about. You have, but you don't really know what I'm talking about, you know. When you get to talking about, Dwight, he's singing his ass off, blah, 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 blah. You just, and come in here during the middle of the week and see who's in there scrubbing the toilet. In here. Renee scrubbing the toilet and, cleaning up all the stuff that get dropped off. There ain't no janitors in here. This place has been here 35 years. I was 39 years old when me and Billy opened up the place. 39. Lord willing, and the creek don't rise, the next month I'll be 74. You know what I'm saying? But see, when being wounded was a blessing. I remember one time my son came to us, my 50th anniversary party, my youngest son. And people in the workshops are getting up and praising me about what I did and what I taught them and this and my son was in the back weeping. Because when I'm down here, I'm not with my family. I lost a home during the time I had the world stage. My son, another son had to have 5 brain surgeries. And he ended up playing football. But I'm just saying, I'm just saying, Cornel dog bit my son. What I'm saying is,
You can sit down.
being the thing about this was a job for me for 20 years, full-time job with overtime with no pay. And it hasn't changed. Right. The folks that give to you. And see, so I bless all those people who did all that work, the nameless ones, the ones that don't get to sit up and, how long it's been before these two, it's been 35 years since these two brothers right here have getting any recognition really. 35 years. I get so many of these things, no disrespect. Usually when they walk, I think I did this to Brother Lloyd last time. He came up and gave this to me. He said, yes, and I just stood back in a minute and said, an award. I thought I was going to get a reward. I'm just saying, but that acknowledgement and the flowers while we're alive is so important. But there are so many people that come down here and do work and give of themselves because they believe in the spirit of this music and our culture and our history. There are so many people who don't get that little extra tap on the back and stuff like that. And not because they want it, but they do need it, but not because that's not why they do it. They do it out the goodness of their heart. And the other thing is, I want to thank you, the audience, because if your behinds were not in those chairs on those many nights and stuff like that, and there was no one to participate, half the people, most of the people in here are veterans of the world stage. Followed us from across the street, over here, been to so many concerts, seen so much go on and stuff like that. You're a part of the family. You're part of the magic that made this thing real. Right. 35 years, no huge, just until the work of the last 10 years when Dwight and the board and Mama Nene, things began to shift on the economic side where we started getting a little more support here. But we were doing this, Billy, a lot of times we'd be broke, and Billy would have to come out of his pocket to pay the bills. I had 5 kids, and sometimes I had to come out of my pocket to pay bills down here. I'm just saying, there's so much work, and there's so much beauty, and there's so much love in this space here. And we have to remember it, we have to protect it, we have to build it up, and we have to let the lights thread and shine. You know, so I mean, I know that it's been an evening of words and over and over and over and over and over again. But you know, it's about love, y'all. It really is about love. And I have to say one more thing, to the sacrifices of my family. You know, again, I ask your forgiveness. I will always do whatever I can to make things better. I mean, my queen is at home. She's got a cold, and she didn't want to blow no snuff. No. She was at home. She was at home, and she really wanted to be here. She told me, I really want to be here because that's my night. Because without my family, I mean, my sister's here from Atlanta. My three of my grandkids from Atlanta are here. Wounded with a blessing. But you know, it's something that we all been touched with, you know, and you gotta be who you are, right? But be the best of who you are. So I give him praise and thanks to the Most High Lord.
Do it again for our honorees. You know, aside from all the plaques and the gifts and all of that and the accolades, I think what would make them happy is if you would help to build on the next 35 years. You know, with your support as volunteers, with your donations. And once again, the donations, there is none that is too small, especially if it's regular. You know, you would be amazed at what $5 a month from everybody in this room would do to make a difference to what's happening here. But thank you all so much for giving your hearts, your time, your talents to us all. And thank you for your words as well. I don't know what we were thinking, that should be on the program. I know. Let's hear it one more time for our honorees, and let's take it out some music. Well, this is really what the Worldstage is all about. And you know, for more than 50 years, Khalil El-Zabbar has established himself as a leader in the development of Chicago's original great black music. David Murray has made a name for himself as one of the prominent saxophone players and leaders in jazz. He's a noteworthy band leader and